This is Robert from Ride to Walk, where I ride for mobility, calling everyone to come along and enjoy the ride. We can laugh and talk and enjoy the great outdoors. Oh. Wow. That might have been a tick. That was a serious bug. I was about to say how beautiful it was through there. Big contrast since the last time I rode this area. Last time I rode out here, it was winter time. No leaves on the trees. I don't know if the cloud formations are coming through as gorgeous as they are in person. Got a little bitty cloud with some precip in it right above us, and then some white cumulus all around it. And sun's out. It is a very nice afternoon. Just went over a little creek. Just like to enjoy the countryside. Sure appreciate when someone does that, mows about a mower length over. Sure makes a big difference in the middle of the summer. In the summer, when I go out, some of these back roads, a lot of them, if everything's really high, really tall all around, it feels constricting and dangerous. Just being able to see what's on the shoulder is a help. And some of those back roads, they dredge once or twice a year. And you go 1 week and then go the next week. The dredging's been done. It is so much nicer. Someone takes it upon them around here to mow the side. Got some prairie yard to the right. And a plowed field to the left. Goes back and back and back to a tree line. Yeah, there's all kinds of, I was just talking with a friend about laws, and e-bikes are it's kind of been the Wild West. The old basic formula was 28 miles an hour for if a vehicle can go over 28, it needs to be licensed and registered, which that's kind of what Illinois is putting in. They're kind of trying to make it, their laws, they're trying to make it uniform, which that part's good. And they're putting in age restrictions for youth, which that part's good. Of course, the license and registration, you just get a bike. And then if you have multiple bikes, kind of ruins the fun. It's not just because something can go a certain speed doesn't mean that you do go that speed. But Illinois' laws, what they've got before them, sounds reasonable compared to, okay, this is Cardinal, this is where I want to go, compared to some of the other laws. New Jersey's put in some I forget exactly what theirs was, but California is considering making e-bikes to have to go 16 miles per hour, which 16 miles per hour and a 250 watt motor, which there's no e-bike out there hardly that's got I've got an old commuter bike that's got a 350. It can only go 20, and yeah, I mean it's got 7 amp hours. It's 16 miles an hour. You're not going to be able to have, and then they want 250 watts. Your battery, you're not going to be able to go anywhere. Kind of defeats the purpose of they want people to go electric. We will see where these things go. They seem to be headed for I think a lot of these early places jumping in at least are targeting, because of course New Jersey's, I think June or July, I guess it's July it goes into effect, but a lot of these places are targeting, they're looking at January of next year as a target date to have more laws on the book. But yeah, California's law would just put e-bike companies out of business. In that state. Area 13, he actually used to be Bolton e-bikes, He actually lives in California and was at the hearings. And he came out of the hearings not pleased, not thinking at all that it's going in the right direction. Some of the talk was one way, and then it went ahead and passed. I think that was the Senate, he said, one side of there. So, yeah, that's where a lot of the companies are based in California, because the boats can dock there, from a lot of businesses you could move. Be no problem, just up and move. And a lot of businesses have left and are leaving California for other states that are more business friendly, but it's really not practical for an e-bike company. It's practical to be based in California just because of location to the ocean. So we'll see what happens. I mean, look at all the hay bales. Yeah, that's me, squirrel. But the hay bales, fresh hay bales already. We'll see what happens with I just enjoy myself on rides. We'll see what happens with all this. He's wanting to make laws. The people that are wanting to make these laws probably most of them have never ridden an e-bike, have no idea. They just get some negative feedback and some stories, this and that. But what caused, when there are accidents, were they actually the e-bike's fault? Or were they a car's fault? But regulation is coming in some form or the other. Yeah, a lot of the laws are focusing on the throttle, which to a point, I understand what they're wanting to do, but the reality is, I mean, if you've got a cadence sensor, your feet are a throttle versus your hand, and I only pedal. I use the throttle just for balance on takeoff. Okay, I am down to 2 bars. I have ridden 26.9 miles so far today. Currently I am doing like the legal e-bike speed limit. The legal limit is 28, and now of course going down a hill, that's the thing. Limiting to 16 doesn't make any sense. Going down a hill, you can be on a regular bike and go way over 16. My limiter right now is limiting it to just at 28. If I had it freed up, it could go right here, just coasting. It could go over 30 miles an hour, and if I had it in fifth, but I mean, so just because something can go a certain speed doesn't mean you are, just like a car. I think they should focus really on the laws as they are, the 3-class system, and then have a 4th class, but that 4th, it's like, the wattage shouldn't matter, because a guy that's 100 pounds doesn't need as many watts as a guy that's 300 pounds, you know. I'm in between that. I'm the 200. So. Plus I carry though 30 pounds of baskets and equipment. So the wattage, technically only 750 watts. Is legal, so then they talk about illegal. It's like, but you can't register an e-bike because they don't come with papers. So there's a whole lot of issues they're going to have to work out. People having multiple bikes, and they don't come with VIN numbers and registration and all that. They may have to do some grandfathering and bike bought before a certain time. Around here, I think if you're just not riding, Jerry T on my forum says if you're not riding like an idiot, you won't get treated like an idiot. The guy I was just talking to, he said that some guys drove a moped 35 miles an hour. They drove a moped 35 miles an hour on a side of 12. Obviously, you get a ticket. They got more than a ticket. They got a ticket to jail for a short stay. I mean, that's really egregious. The path in the park is 11 miles, and I think up here it's either 10 or 11 in the park, in the baseball park as well. And I mean, if you're just riding safe, if you're going 15, it's probably not, there's nobody around, not a problem. That's the way I ride. This bike doesn't have a setting for 13. That's what I like to ride my trails out on, the 13. And then if there are people around, I just defer to them and go slow when they're around. This one only has a 10 and a 17 setting though. So let's see if we got a speed limit here we can read. Yeah, 11 miles an hour. So it's the same as Cass Creek Park. Yeah, and the issues with the throttle, I mean, there are a lot of handicapped people that their lives are improved by bikes, so throttles are a big help. For me, like I use the throttle only, like technically a legal bike is supposed to be able to throttle to 20 and pedal assist to 28. That's a class 3 e-bike. I don't even know if my bike's throttled past 20. Because I don't use the throttle that way. I use the throttle just for balance at the start. And the first time that I rode a Fat Tire e-bike, I broke my left arm. And I used the throttle, I was about a mile from home. I used the throttle very, very lightly and sparingly to get home. Had one arm, and I had to be very careful because if I fell over then, I was, with the hand already broken, I would have shattered my arm. So I was very careful, but I had to had to use the throttle then. I needed the throttle. So we just went around the fairgrounds. I've got 2 bars. Gone 30.6 miles. My range on this is about 40 miles. And so I'm in good shape. There's a fella out walking. I always think it's quite beautiful. This is the front of a hospital. Some open ground. With tree lines to either side. You can cut through here, but this is not where I wanted to go. This goes down to where I want to go. I think this is neat. Come out. At the fountain right there. Beautiful. They've been mulching. Groundskeepers have been out. Some wildlife, ducks to the left. I'm going to turn around and take this the other way because there's some nurses, I think, going the other way. And I'm just going to take it out. Take this on out to the road. The pond is actually getting kind of algified on this end. Stay on pavement and walk at your own risk. Okay. Interesting sign. That was fun. I like getting a little bit of trail and off-road in from here and there. Mostly ride the streets, mostly sidewalks in town, streets and sidewalks, and lots of there we go. Lots and lots of back roads. Streets and trails and sidewalks. Chat roads. I found a new chat road today. It goes a ways back, but it ends up stopping at the railroad track. School should be out for the day, so I'm just coming through here is no problem. There's a kid on an old bike enjoying a ride down a hill. Yeah, when they want to limit speeds, it's like you can just take a regular bike and coast down a good hill and go faster than 16. Ran that perfect. Nice not to have to hit the bump or go in the grass. Now we will move back in the car lane, past the high school, and there's the middle school on the right. We've got football practice out tonight. Got a car behind me. I'm sort of committed to where I'm going. See that dead end? It is for a car, but on an e-bike, what is the word they used to, don't take no for an answer. Like salesmen, don't take no for an answer. Well, Dead end is not a dead end for an e-bike. I still have 2 bars at 32.8 miles I've gone today. Oh yeah, yesterday I was at Walmart and Mr. Blue Sky came on as I was leaving. I had to chuckle. Mr. Blue Sky, that's what I'm enjoying right now. Mr. Blue Sky with sunshine and some placid cumulus clouds. Field to my right has been, looks like soybeans, little bitty plants. It's not corn. And there was a field to the left that wasn't planted. One to the right now is planted. Yeah, it must be soybeans, and these are going to need tonight's rain. Yeah, I noticed despite the good rain we had, when was that, Thursday? We had a little, and then, well, it's Friday, Saturday. Friday into Saturday we had really good rain. And this is Thursday again, so it's almost a week, yeah. It was looking dry, and we were really dry before that came, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that things look dry. Okay. Here's where we opened it up. This is a steep hill. Doesn't look that steep on the camera, I don't imagine. But it is a pretty good grade. Pretty impressed actually with how the limiter is holding that back. I just barely got to 20. Hold it back to 28. I think I saw 29 once, but limited that pretty good. If it was free, it'd be going in the 30s. Yeah, I'm really not afraid of thirty to 35 is a decent range. That's really as fast as you want to safely go on an e-bike. The components are not made like a motorcycle or a moped to go 40, 50 miles an hour. Like some are modded out to do, but then they sometimes put better components on them. With those type, you can expect, yeah, license and registration makes sense if you're going over 30. If you're going to ride over 35. And I wouldn't say just because it can, but if that's your intention, because you really want, like right here, you want, see, I don't have it, and I don't have to go that fast, but if there was traffic, see how much I slowed down all the way to 16 from, let's see, 4, I was probably going 25 to 28, now down to 16 miles an hour. That's dangerous in traffic. So you need the extra wattage. There's where your higher watts will just hold you even going up that hill at that speed. So that's actually safer, but the lawmakers don't think things through like that. It's like with wheelchairs. Medicare a while back, probably over a decade, well, it's over, but probably 15 years ago, they changed. The best wheelchairs were made by Pride, and they would turn in a circle, and they just had their main wheels and back wheels, and then they had front casters that were off the ground. They were just anti-tip casters. Those were fine, those were great. But then the lawmakers decided, well, it'll be safer if those are on the ground. That sounds good to someone that hasn't ridden a wheelchair. And I thought, oh, sure, yeah, that sounds good. No. You put that in a van, now your weight is dispersed more and the thing skids and moves around easier, for one. Also, while you're riding it, it's more squirrely. The wheels in the front also turn and can turn into, so the person has to be aware and keep their feet away from those, or they could get their feet smushed. There's a whole bunch of disadvantages that someone that's ridden a wheelchair for very long and rides one of those realizes and sees really quick. And I don't know why the lawmakers don't get people who know the machines, whether it's wheelchairs or e-bikes, and learn from them, but they don't. And I've got 36 miles on here today. And I'm going to go up here and see if my friend, the wild rose bush, is still blooming. It is, yep. One of the last times probably I'll see it this year. And I'm going to call this a video.